Oh. Oh, hello. Okay. Well, let's get this show on the road here. So last week we had the season opener of Tier 1 in Australia, and it was a Mercedes Academy 1-2-3. But now we're here in China, and good lord, check this out. We got a wet qualifying. Well, I'm Wolf on here for today's commentary, as Stroke is having some trouble on the wet tires. Just gonna say that. He's just having some trouble. But yeah. Let's take a look. So as for the results that happened yesterday, so Florian was the winner of Australia, with Gecko and Cookie making up the top three. And then to finish out the top five, it was Cryptic in fourth and Jack in P5. So that means those are the top five for the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors, it is McLaren with 37, Mercedes in second with 33, and Ferrari is sitting in third with 14. But here we are in China. Now, I do have a co-com, Polish, but still waiting on him to show up, so we can get this show on the road here. There he is. Let's see. Wrong button. There we go. And the audio included. Perfect. Alright, well. Just like last week in Australia, we have a full grid for tonight's festivities. Redfire retiring in the pits because he had to serve a quali ban. Got 8 points in his first session. I mean, for shit that he wound up doing, that was really screwy. But anyways, we were a tiny bit late on the stream. Turns out we had a small little mishap. There was like a bit of an accidental connection. The wrong Twitch got accidentally connected. We were trying to scramble to get that figured out, but it's all good. We're back. Giggity go.
That's all that matters. We didn't miss.
And Polish has shown up.
Yep. I'm here. I'm chilling. Got some laps going through. Full 20 person grid. Be fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay. I'm on board with George, and he, like, literally on the screen, and I think the viewers can see it too, he's got, like, the bottom part of his front wing, and then the rest of his wing and the entire nose is gone off the car. It's absolutely hilarious.
That's absolutely great.
Yeah. Alright, once it gets into the line, there it is. So people can see on the screen there. This is probably the funny graphic glitch here, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, we got wet qualifying. We have some guys on the full wets. We got guys on the inters. This should be quite fun.
Alex Norris setting the benchmark of the 151.1. His teammate Jack Miles right behind him, 6/10 down. Looks like the inter tire is the play, as it seems like right now.
Yeah, very much so. The inters are playing into full effect here. So Cryptic now coming around out of the final corner to come across the line, and he's second fastest, 51.3 on his end.
51.3, still Alex Norris gonna be in the lead. Baked Cookies coming around here. He's coming around the second to last corner here. He's gonna be putting down the time. McLaren, obviously the fastest car on the grid. We're gonna see what Cookie can do. Rounds the final corner here. Gotta be so careful not to invalidate here. A 150.2.
Nice. I was cycling through the drivers, just getting up into there, and George is the only one with a graphics glitch. Torrent Penguin has it too. but literally he has no nose and no entire wing. Like
I
everything on the
wonder.
front end's gone.
George looks fine for me. I don't. I guess I.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't have that glitch. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's on for us. It's on for on the stream's end, and I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I find it absolutely hilarious. Oh my god, one of Ferraris has it too. I think just Jack that has it.
Oh jeez.
Oh, both Ferraris don't have it either. Oh my god, this is too good.
I can't wait to look.
F125,
I
everybody.
can't wait to watch this back and see the cars
Oh
with
my
no
god, this
noses.
is too good.
Ah, fantastic.
I wonder who else is missing their bits of their wings and noses and shit like that. So we have 4 drivers that have that. And in regards to another glitch, LS, who just went 10th fastest with a 53.7, on the stream end, he's in the garage.
Yeah, he's on the track. He actually just spun out for me coming out of turn
Yeah,
3. So yeah, that's there's some weird things going on right now. I don't understand it, but
you're telling
I
me.
don't know. But
Speaking of
I
weird
mean, we got
things,
4.
apparently it's supposed to be a dry race, but the last patch is wet. Might rain, might not rain at all. We'll see.
Oh no, Ted Kravitz is here. Zeros, are you watching the off of the stream's end on the account? Are you seeing the visual glitches that we're seeing?
I find
Hold
George's
on.
more funny than the Ferraris because at least with George's, there's still part of a wing on it.
It's just floating there.
I'm looking this
Like
up. Hold
there's
on.
like some grade A magic bowl on hand in this one.
Titan, you'd remember Season 7 Baku.
Oh,
You'd remember the glitch then. This is very, very
Oh
reminiscent of
yeah.
yeah. No, I see it now. That is so strange. Anyways, take a look at Andrea going P4 in the Williams.
Oh yeah. And Willow was up in the second. Simbarak is in 5th in that asset. Minico up in 8th. Only 2 guys you have to get a lap in, that being Skither and Blonde. Blonde just starting his lap, Skither going through turn 2 right now.
It's the only track I've done wet weather racing at, and Polish would remember that race that him and I did here. It is
God.
basically Formula Drift with how it feels, especially through that long right-hander. So that is what you'll see from a lot of these laps a little
Yeah,
bit.
that race was a train wreck.
Oh, by the way, I actually also want to bring some news on this one, for the people and for our viewers here as well. We're already 1 week into new season, and we already got moves being done. We have numerous things being done. Cookie is now the team principal of Mercedes. Netsky has stepped down and has moved away. George is going to become the new team principal of Ferrari. I believe it is next season Tier 1. That's when he's kicking in?
Correct.
If that's correct? Yes, okay. And in regards to drivers, for the next seasons, 7 seats have already been taken for next seasons, all coming from the Mercedes Academy. And here's how it goes. Tier 3 Season 6, which is the next season of Tier 3, Timbed and Netsky are going to be in the McLaren. For Tier 2 Season 18, we have Mintoki retaining her seat in the Mercedes, and Night Owl moving from Mercedes to from Ferrari to Williams. Together on top in that Haas.
How about
That
that?
Haas is really flying in the wets in the wet conditions.
Free equalizer.
Looks
That's
like
what they always
conditions
say
are
about
starting
it.
to dry out ever so slightly here. We got a lot of improvements going on around the track.
And with cars going out and about on there, there's probably a dry line. There's a dry line forming up on there. That's why some of these times are really improving for sure. Now, Gecko responds to Skitter's time 1.3 seconds ahead with a 48.6 on his end.
No more wet tires, I think. And you see the interlaps. multiple laps in those tires. That is no surprise. Drivers have fueled themselves for that in advance. And
Yeah,
with one of those lineups
absolutely.
that you're mentioning, SV, the only non-Merc Academy car signed for next season, that's for Tier 3 Ferrari. He'll be moving over back to where
Yes.
he used to be.
Yep, I was actually about to bring that mention next from that as well, because I also just remembered that while I was going through those lineups there. Yeah, SV is going to Ferrari for Tier 3 next season. And then for Tier 1, 3 spots were confirmed. I gotta check it again to make sure if any more got confirmed for Tier 1 Season 14. Mercedes, it is going to be Skither and Alex Norris to Mercedes, and Florian. He decided that he thinks he could have a possible dominant season like Leo did a couple of seasons ago. He doesn't want to be too dominant, so that's why next season he's going to take the safe route and go to Williams for next season.
I think
And more times flying in too.
Polish and I can agree when we heard about Florian wanting to go to a slower car and not wanting to be in a faster car. We would have thought he would have gone to Alpine, but Williams is the 6th fastest car now, so he's going to a decent midfield car. I think the Williams at this point, you could argue, could get their first Tier 1 podium in quite a while. They've not had one in over 100 races.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, if a Haas can, get on the Tier 1 podium, I think a Williams is more than capable of that.
Well, Haas has not had
Agreed.
one yet, but they've been very close. The storage room has kind of hindered them the last few times they've been close.
Well,
Yeah.
well, Haas just got one last week.
Speaking of the
no? Am I
wets, well, speaking of these wet conditions coming into effect, Twin Penguin just put the Racing Bulls in the 4th position, kind of mirroring how Racing Bulls have been in the actual F1 qualifying, because Liam Lawson from the Red Bull Club was the fastest out of everyone in that Red Bull group.
And I don't think he raced here 2 yesterday, Penguin, either again. This is the 2nd time in a row.
No, he did not race Tier 2 yesterday. Also, I just realized I made a mistake. I didn't realize EXO started putting qualifying and race results into race results. So I looked at Alex in 3rd. I was like, oh, okay.
You know, I
like that.
I might be jumping the gun when I say this, but I've seen quite a bunch of the stuff that EXO has done since he became a new admin last week. But I will say, I've actually been quite impressed with what he's been up to. And he's doing pretty good. His stroke goes up to P9.
They're back up to P1.
Yep.
Just to put in perspective, I think stroke dating is Cam. I'm pretty sure that's who.
I was gonna ask who that was.
I was thinking like that could
now.
be Cam.
I was gonna ask who that was. I didn't want to say anything. But...
He is making his returns. That is good to see. He's not been on the grid in a while. Through free trial. So, no, about EXO, I do want to give my opinion here on this. A lot of people have said throughout time the admin team has been mainly based on friends of the owners, and EXO maybe is a friend of some of the owners as we see times continue to improve, which is a great sight to see. Might mean some shock Q1 exits though. I do think he is a friend of the owners, but at the same time, he's also, I would say, very interactive with the public of RPL, it's safe to say. So you're taking someone who's a bit of both worlds, which is really good actually. And he likes everybody. A lot of people like him too. So it's a nice change, I must say, compared to what people tend to complain about. and whether they're right or wrong doesn't matter, but they complain about it, and well, there's nothing to complain about here. It's an active graphic designer. And with the time remaining in this session, I'm just looking at the gap from 1st to 2nd to 3rd. You got a 2/10 difference from 2nd to 3rd, but you got a 2nd difference between 1st and 2nd. Track evolution in these last few minutes of Q1 is going to be massive. Cryptic's down that bottom 5, Jack's on the bubble, Willow's down there on a lap though, George on a lap 2. They are at serious risk right now, and if they get the laps in, we still could see some shock exits, but maybe not as many.
Well, I am currently on board with Willow. When he got through the Sector 2 split, he was up by 2.7 seconds, which is going to give him a 47.8 which is going to put him right around with Gecko, not Gecko, ahead of Skither at this present moment. But here he comes across the line now to get that lap done, and it's a 46.5. That puts him 200th behind Alex Norris.
And I was on board as the t-shirt says DNF. He's done with the session. I was on board with Jack Miles through the first sector. He was 1.3 seconds up in just the first sector alone. Now he's a whole 3 seconds up coming out of the second sector. So it looks like Jack is going to be good as long as he doesn't invalidate.
Yeah, he'll be right behind Gecko at the current pace that he has. About 70 seconds left in this session, so, well, I would say for the guys just starting their laps, if you invalidate now, you're pretty much done and dusted. But let's see what Jack's got as he goes into the hairpin and comes out of it nice and easy, as we're seeing that visual glitch all out and about in glory.
Good last from JTK and Cam, by the way,
corner.
just for reference.
Yeah. There goes Jack, and on top, 46, almost a 46 flat.
Might see a Sauber in Q2. Might see two. Probably only one right now.
I mean, we're going to see Tiro. He's coming into the Sector 1 split right now. Not up on its time, 1,000th down, actually. So, we're going to see Minico going to be coming.
Only 15.
Wes just restarted.
He just
Alex
crossed.
Coming.
I don't know if that was a lap that he wanted representable or not, but if it is, he is at risk. And I'm a bit worried about Cryptic down there. I don't know if he's improving or not. You guys would know better than I would, but if he invalidates this lap, we are going to see a McLaren out in Q1, and the same could be said for George too, if it happens.
Well, Skither improved by almost a second, but didn't move his position. He's in 5th. George goes up into 4th.
Coming across the line, almost invalidated. That was very, very close, but gonna go P2.
Second fastest.
Splits the Ferraris.
Let's see. Coming up next is GTK sitting in 8th. Aston is coming across. That's Lero. He's up in 8th now.
Only
Andrea. Yeah, Andrea now coming across the line with Simba right behind.
Andrea puts a P5.
Andrea up in the P5. There comes Andrea to P8. Here comes Cookie now. Damn, lots of cars coming in. On top for Cookie.
Tiro's going to be next. He's on a big improvement. Is it going to be enough, though? P14 Ooh. Might just be as LS goes off. He was 6/10 up. He's going to lose a lot of time in that Haas.
Yeah.
Currently in the drop
He's
zone.
Lose quite a bit there.
Oh, Cam had a good lap right there, but the thing is, he's just dropping like a rock. You better get a good lap in here to respond.
Minico coming across the Alpine. Puts it P9. That'll be good enough.
There comes Blonde now, on loan. He comes across the line. 14th.
LS invalidates. That's it for him.
Oh, he's out. So that leaves Torn Penguin now. And that means he could get rid of, I believe, is that Josh in the other Red Bull?
That's what I'm about to find out.
Cam puts it P14. He's going to be safe. Torn Penguin, also safe.
Yeah, so that means, I think that's Josh, the World of T-Shirts guy. He's out of Q1. So, another Yuki moment for the Red Bull.
Yeah, that would be Josh. That is correct.
Yikes. So, we lose Blonde by 2/10. Josh, Tiro, LS, and Redfire, he had to serve a quality ban. That is your people out of Q1. And your top 3 is Alex Norris, Cookie, and Jack on top. Alex Norris ahead by almost half a second.
A lot of credit for Cam. I mean, this is basically his first laps on the game. In the dry, he felt like he was very far off, so I give him fair credit there. Maybe the wet is going to help him out here, especially for the car, too. Blonde, a bit of a surprise down there, not too big a one. But Josh down there, that is a bit surprising. Even if the race stays dry for 95% of it and only goes wet for the last lap or two, he's in a really bad spot here just because the dirty air around here is really not your best friend at all for Josh in that situation.
Yeah, and the wild thing is that with Cam, He just said that this Q1 session is his first wet laps in the game.
There you go.
And his time that got him through into Q2, it was his 10th lap ever in this game.
Yeah. I mean, we've not had Cam on the grid since, I believe, the end of season 11. I want to say Texas. It was a long time ago. And Cam still proving why he got a podium in his first start in a top car. It's just amazing to me, the pace of this guy when he does show up at the most random times. I mean, he won a Formula Endurance race here in RPL a while ago at Zandvoort. It's his only RPL win. And in fact, it was the last race of the year 2023. So, Cam stroking his way to the top, I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting name.
Take a look at people that got added Q1. Obviously, the Red Bull, pretty surprising. Maybe losing one of the V carbs might be a little surprising as well. But we've got a Haas.
I wonder what Invade's gonna be thinking of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know Invade. He would have been on here for CoCom, but unfortunately, Invade is currently committed to watching the WWE PLE Night of Champions, and looking at the live thing, I see the results of some of the matches that have already happened. But the final match is I believe the final match is currently on board. Cena versus CM Punk. I'm not gonna lie, I like that feud, and I'm hoping Punk actually beats his ass.
Well, I'm interested to see if this track is meant to get any drier, especially for the sake of Q3, because just like we saw for Q1, and maybe part of the reason why Josh was knocked out, he said he went too early was part of his issue. You're going to see in this session, and not only this session, maybe Q3, that the driver who gets the last lap in is going to be at the biggest advantage, just because if the track is getting drier and you get that lap in at the very last moment, you are basically, I wouldn't want to say in that crossover period, but close enough to it.
Hey, the wings are fixed.
There you go.
Sweet. All right.
Also, looking at these Mercedes-powered cars, we only lost one of them in Q1, and that was because they had a quality ban. So these Merc cars showing up to play here in China.
Red was a naughty boy last week. Very naughty.
Yep, and some of that junk that he did, I do not condone it.
Well, I don't think anyone would, but it goes to show whether or not you're someone like Skither here in a Haas and you outperform the car or you don't. You still do not have the right to drive like it's a NASCAR race, whether it's for P1 or for P15.
I mean to be fair, Redfire is no Leon because obviously we know Leon was not in the wrong for what he did in Silverstone in Tier 3 the other day, and I think you probably did him dirty, and
I guess so.
I think maybe you crashed into the wall on your own.
I guess so. He had the apex.
All good stuff. All good banter. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're on with Skither. I'm on board with Skither as he's going through the long back straight, hanging up into the hairpin as he gets close to about 195 miles an hour in the speed trap, slams it down to about 35 in that hairpin. I mean, yeah, it's a lot slower when you're in the intermediate conditions. But into the final corner he comes. Skither will be the benchmark. And what time will he get? And the answer is 44.8. That's quicker than the Q1 time already.
I know Alex Norris is in the Ferrari tonight for TB, but I must say, if you want to talk about a lineup that maybe could put both Haas cars on the podium, this is the best chance for it. Skither and Alex Norris, two great drivers. One a champion, one maybe a future race winner coming.
Well, there is no doubt about that, and we have a star-studded lineup with a lot of these drivers, and speaking of Alex Norris, here he comes now, and it's actually a 43.8 on his end, and Gecko responds by going the 10th quicker.
Polish, you were teammates with Alex around the circuit and even in Tier 3. Are we looking at maybe a future Tier 1 race winner right now, just because he's ahead of Jack by quite a hefty margin on the first lap. Not sure what the difference is on used or new tires, but he's not far off Gecko, who had an impressive round 1 for Mercedes as well.
I do believe that Alex Norris has a lot of pace around here. He got very unlucky during that Tier 3 race because of the unfortunately timed, I guess you could say, disconnection or whatever happened. I don't even remember what happened that race. It was such
Crazy.
it was weird. But I think Alex does have a good chance at getting at a possible Tier 1 win here, as Cookie does go to the top of the charts. But if he does, he's going to have to beat those McLarens. Those McLarens look, they don't look bad.
A lot better. A lot better.
Yeah.
And the Mercedes do too. I think if you want to talk about a team that maybe is putting themselves second fastest across all tiers based on the opening weekends, it's been Mercedes. You look at Tier 2 with Beatnik and Mentoki. You look at Tier 3 with SV and Biscuit. SV won that race in Silverstone Reverse Pen and Swords Room. And then last week, they were second and third with Cookie and Gecko. So they're off to a good start. Is the car second fastest? Maybe. Maybe not, though. I think second fastest, it's a big toss-up between Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes. But I think Mercedes are trying to put themselves in that conversation to stay there. As you can see Penguin on that lap right now, that he's doing, basically drifting the car on the corner. You're going to see a lot of that, and there is yellow flags as Andrea went up to fifth a bit ago.
This is why I love. Yeah. This is why I love wet weather qualifying, because you get so many like wacky yes. outcomes. Like Williams in a fifth. Like we've got a Sauber in Q2. We had a Red Bull get, and we had a Red Bull get eliminated Q1. Not really because he didn't have the pace. I'm sure he did to get into Q1, but just because he didn't put the lap in at the right time. It's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
For the limited laps Cam's had on this game, he's done a good job.
Yeah, he's currently sitting in P9 at this present moment with a 45.2, and I think, well, I mean on the broadcast screen it looks like there's nothing, but when you go into the onboard, there's still some rain up and about for these drivers. We have 3 drivers yet to finish a lap at this present moment, one of them being GTK, the other being George, who's currently on the back straight. Cryptic has yet to come out and get his lap in.
Teasing us.
And actually, I think they're switching to soft tires. A couple of these guys are.
Cryptic was the first one to pull the trigger, thinking about those soft tires, and now it looks like a lot of people. I mean, the rain is slowing down. There's only a few drops. Skither goes to P1. The track conditions are definitely. I mean, it looks like a pretty dry track, but I don't know if it's dry enough for softs yet.
Well, if you remember our race we did here not long ago, as Skither goes fastest again, just impressive for the season 6 and 7 champion as George crosses for a lap 2. The point being that I was just about to say, Polish, is that when we did our race here, I think it did dry out quite quickly, but not too quickly though. And that's what I'm wondering here. Might not be fully dry just yet, but it probably will be by the end of the qualifying session. And again, like I said, that's going to mean whoever the last one is to cross the line has the best lap in hand. And Alex Norris, Gecko, we see the top spot trading numerous times there between some very talented drivers.
Absolutely. If the track does dry out when we think it might, which might be at the end of the session, if somebody, Cam goes off into the gravel, he's way off into the, what is he doing?
If it does dry out, then I do wonder, is it going to be a fully dry Q3 then? We'll see.
It's possible.
It's possible.
GTK 4th. 5th now.
GTK up to 5th. Simba was in 3rd, but now Cookie responds, putting it on top with a 41.2. Yeah, these times are going in. Hello. DRS enabled.
There you go.
There you go. There's your signal. So it may not be perfect to come out now, but you could come out in the next 2 minutes here and maybe get yourself ready for 2 laps. Now, what I have noticed is DRS is enabled with it still raining on the lens of the car still. So that is similar to real life compared to last game. Last game, it had to stop raining at least for DRS to be enabled. This game, you can still have some rain with DRS enabled. So a nice little change in the F1 games. And I want to note some Cookie said yesterday about Tier 2 and even Tier 3. That McLaren should be finishing top 4. If not, they really, I wouldn't say don't deserve their seat. I'm not going to say that's what he said, but it'd be a little concerning if they're not top 4.
What he said.
Yes, it is basically, yeah. but he is sticking to his word, keeping it on top.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. As some more drivers getting some power in and everything. As GTK goes past Cam. I think these guys are probably going to be coming in any second to get onto the probably get onto the soft tires. As some drivers are out and about on there. Vero Fusion is actually the one to step up and decide, I'm going to give it a shot, see what happens.
It has stopped raining. The rain has now stopped.
This is why it makes sense for Fusion to go out though, Polish, to your point, because he can get one lap now, back down, and then go for another one, have the last lap potentially to get himself into Q3. This is smart.
I'm looking at Willow. Willow is out on fresh inters. I wonder if they're going to go in and decide to go. Yes, they are.
Half the field is on soft. I was going to say, good idea. Fusion can get one lap in here, conserve battery, save the tire a little bit, hopefully not overcook it, and then still get one final lap in here in time. And that is going to be the ultimate way to go here for Fusion, because he's already chosen to come out, still go with it, and hopefully make this work. It's his only way to have a dry lap in. Whew. And then
2 seconds up already.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, it's the only way to have a dry lap in, and then do another one. But rely on the first dry lap if your last one's invalid. So it's a weird situation, but Cryptic is gonna have a situation where it's one and done. He doesn't even have a lap on the board yet. So his dry lap when he goes out is gonna be his only one. And again, you know, with these conditions improving, you cannot invalidate.
Whoa! Couple of slides on Fusion there. But he keeps it together. Almost 5 seconds up at the second sector.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, slide again.
So many trying to get used to this.
That track, it might have stopped raining, but that track is still definitely damp for sure.
That's why you want to be the last one as well, not just for the track evolution.
I mean, that's also why Fusion has this opportunity to do this lap that he's on now, do a cooldown, and then try again. It's also so that way his setup is that way he gets acclimated and ready to go for it, and also it allows the track to get even more warmer, and the dry line to get even more dry when more rubber gets laid down on the field.
Well, you could tell he planned it just because the fact that he's not low on fuel, not anywhere near to running out, so he's fueled up for this whole situation as he is fastest.
Here comes the cavalry.
Exactly.
This queue is going to be insane.
Coming out.
It may get to a point.
Get out of the way, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say it may get to a point where some of the drivers at the back of that queue may not make that last lap if they're not careful.
Yeah, that could be huge. And one of the people at the back of that queue is Alex Norris. Got Alex Norris back there. The Sauber's back there. We got one of the Alpines that are back there.
Cam. Cam and Simba are back there, and the last one to come out is GTK.
Yeah, I don't think JTK's making it.
JTK is really on the brink here. He's the one furthest to risk. Right now he's in the, well, at least for my point of view on the stream, he's going to the end of Sector 1, and it's, what, 124, 123. If he misses it, it might only be by 5 seconds.
Yeah, and he's actually using ERS to make it.
Yeah, I believe that. So it just compromises his lap so much. If you're one of the drivers in the top 3 and you invalidate this lap, you're hoping a lot more others do too. And this is not an easy track to invalidate at. Really, you just got turn 10 and the final corner, probably the 2 easiest places to go out of bounds. But everyone is slowing down for this.
Yeah, we got a queue backing up.
I was going to say, everyone's slowing down here, trying to get figured out and not be in dirty air. It's not like last game where you can pick up the slipstream on your lap.
Gecko, the first one, across the line to start his lap. We got an Alpine behind him. That's going to be Minico. And look at this gaggle of cars.
Final sector with 40-something
seconds
this
is really going to screw things up.
This is going to be interesting.
He's going to run in the queue, JTK.
I think some of these guys ain't going to make it.
I can't see how much time is left because of the freaking caution. Oh, yeah, 10 seconds?
8 seconds.
He might make it, but barely. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He did. He made it. Barely.
One of the asses
Holy
jumped the queue, but it's
cow.
just so compromising for these guys. This lap right there. Everyone's running so toe-to-toe.
Skither, Simba, their laps are compromised. They're so close together with some of these other guys.
Well, they were two of the drivers who jumped the queue. That's my point. If you jump the queue, you're still going to be behind somebody, even though you don't want to be.
Look who's back there in this gaggle of cars. Alex Norris.
We might see some surprise knockouts. We saw Josh in the first session. Blonde joined him as well.
Gecko invalidated.
So he's relying on others to have issues then.
Gecko could be in real trouble here.
Not good for Gecko.
I wonder where he invalidated.
This used to be a big pad track, but it's not anymore.
Yeah, he was going down the long back straightaway, and then I saw he invalidated, so that's not good for him. Minico goes top of the board.
Here we go. Yeah. That's how much the track is
Gecko's out.
Gecko's going to be out unless a lot of people invalidate. I just don't see if that's going to happen. Cookie is going to be in.
Here comes Cryptic.
Cryptic does make it in.
Here comes the whole crew.
Ooh, Skither. We're almost like touching. Like, this is not great for these guys back here.
Yeah, Gecko is done.
Gecko's done. Alex Norris, he's coming across the line. He goes top of the board, even in that gaggle of cars. That's insane.
Fusion's done. Minico's done. Wow. Cam's out as well.
George is out too.
George.
Or is he?
Yeah, George is out.
33,000.
Wow.
So
did JTK get in? He did.
He barely
got in at the last
Both
lap.
Williams are in Q3 again.
But JDK's I find so impressive because as you guys were saying, he had to use battery just to get to the line. Gecko, Cam, Fusion, Minico, George. 2 Red Bulls not making Q3.
Oh, yeah. And the only Red Bull Academy car left is Torn Penguin and that V-Carb.
Yeah, there's
well, Simba too. Because he's at Aston.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, there's in, Andrea's in, Penguin's in, JTK's in, of all the midfield, bottom field cars. The Ferrari on top.
Hey, I was watching JTK the whole, and it's it's dry now. I was watching JTK the whole time. It must have been milliseconds. The clock was at 0 when he went by the line, and yet it still let him take his lap. That's insane.
It's Lewis Hamilton type of stuff when his dominant days, when it was coming
luck.
to an end. Yeah, with Mercedes. You got to remember, what was it, Russia that one time? Where he the one year he made it, and then the one year didn't make it, I think. So, that's how close it was.
And Cam's in the chat, and now I realize why Alex might have still got the fastest lap. Cam let him by. Cam sacrificed his own lap so that Alex Norris had a better chance of making it.
Good for Cam. That's a good team player moment. He probably knew if he was going to get into Q2 or Q3, he might have messed someone up, and he didn't from the academy. Good for him. And he was called up last second to race. It was originally Goatley in at Sauber. Cam said, all right, I'll make my return for you, Invade. And he is helping out the academy, that is for sure. JTK, Andrea, both Williams in Q3. The last time we saw this, go back to Season 10 Baku.
Yeesh.
JTK. The last time we had 2 Red Bulls out either.
Yeah, it's been a while. But in this game especially, you mentioned it, I think, yesterday a little bit. The Red Bull is just not easy to drive here on this game.
It is so frustrating to drive, and I feel bad for the drivers. It's not necessarily the same as some other cars, is what they're saying, but the Red Bull, you got to have the right driver in it, and it is so frustrating if you're one of those drivers like George or Josh and how they drive this car. It's fast, but it's a handful, and we're gonna see right now.
Holy crap!
Who has a handful and who doesn't in this session.
Oh, well, people are getting themselves set up for their first out lap and be clocked in for their first time lap at Q3. Let's take a peek at another league because we have a social race coming up tomorrow afternoon. 53 people are going. We're gonna have like 3 different lobbies.
About half of that is
Right.
watching this stream, and I would love to see some predictions here for Q3, folks. Who do you have on pole?
For the record, JTK making Q3 in another mid to back marker car. When is he going to get a good car? Straight up.
When is he
That's
going
my
to stay
question.
in a good car is my question. He's had a Ferrari before for a few races, had the McLaren at the end of last season, but he's not stayed up there.
All right. That was, I think that Q2 took the breath out of me.
And this compromises Red Bull so much. They've not finished outside the points since Season 8 Texas. I believe it was the last time. If they don't, or Season 8 Japan, excuse me. That's how long it's been
Maybe
since
I'll
Red
look
Bull's
at the
last. So, we'll
maybe you
see.
should look at the records for it, but aside from like quality bands and stuff, when was the last time both Red Bulls didn't make Q3?
I know. It compromises them so much for the race, though, simply due to the fact that dirty air around
Hank's
here.
probably kicking himself in the head.
Yeah, I know. Well, you got Penguin, a Tier 2 driver, in the V-Carb in this one, so it just goes to show. It's just like real life, and they got it right. And we're going to see some laps finished here. Skither is the first one here. Now that it's drier conditions, does this change the motive for Skither and where he would be? If you're in the wet here, you're thinking for Skither, top 3, probably doable. Top 3 in this Haas, which is the second slowest car, probably not as doable. So if he does put in the performance and put in the lap, it's going to be a lot more impressive in these conditions because it is a dry Q3 compared to a mixed condition Q1 and Q2.
Well, Skither sets the benchmark 32.2 on his end. 32.6 for Andrea. GTK 33.1 on his end. Simba 32.8. And Willow 32.1 on his end. Here comes Cryptic across the line on his part. 32.5. Now the Ferrari. We have Alex coming across. Wow. 32.1. And Cookie 31.4. Holy cow.
I just want to mention something here. You mentioned that it's been 60 some odd races since Williams last got a double Q3.
Oh,
the last time they even had one driver in Q3 was 15 races ago.
16 since it wasn't updated from round 1.
Oh, 16
but
even.
It's still impressive. I mean, it's great for them.
Yeah.
By the way, Cookie made a point, I think, to him being back to his usual F123 pace. This ultimately proves it, I would say. With that lap, I know it's only the first laps, the benchmark laps, but he is still over half a second clear of Alex Norris, and even just take second to fourth right there. Such a close gap right there. May not be a battle for first tonight. We'll see if it is or it isn't, if there's still time for drivers to find, but regardless, Alex, Willow, Skither, second, third, fourth right now, and Cryptic down in fifth for McLaren.
Wow. Well, let's see. I'm gonna make my prediction because currently my cell's dead and my laptop's off, and I want to type it in on my end via the stream on that one. But it's obviously it's gonna be a battle between both Ferraris and Cookie for the pole position. That's what I'm thinking is what the battle is going to be. But who will come out on top in regards to it? I think it's going to be Cookie by at least 2/10 over Alex.
Is it too late to hope for a possible Skither pole?
Haas have only had one front row.
I'd love to see a Haas on pole. That'd be fantastic. I don't think it's plausible. I'm gonna go with Willow.
Alex got Haas their only pole in Tier 2, and that's the only Haas pole in RPL, so fair point you raise. Alex put the car P3 last week, so you know what? I mean,
yeah,
we're going to see when they get other drivers in this car, well, even with LS later tonight. Is it just Alex and Skither, or is that Haas maybe not as bad as the game files show it to be? That does beg the question. I mean, for Cookie's sake, I'm looking at the last time he had a pole, season 11 finale. Alex has never had a pole in RPL Tier 1. He has some Tier 2 and Tier 3, obviously, as we know it. Willow hasn't had a pole. I'm pretty sure he's been close maybe once or twice, but nothing too significant. Skither got the record last season for most poles. Jack, it's been since season 8 Abu Dhabi. Cryptic season 9 Japan. I mean, we're looking at quite a few droughts to be broken if it's going to be something other than Skither, really, just because of the fact that he's the only one in the last season who's had a pole in RPL and JTK.
Something I also want to mention is that 2 of these top 3 guys have never had a pole in Tier 1. Alex and Willow, both never had a pole.
Makes it more impressive if they beat Cookie, because clearly the McLaren in this game has been, what, 2, 3, 4 tenths clear the pack to some extent. So, it definitely does make any performance like that special. Just like Reese's yesterday in Tier 2. Ferrari won the race. SV won in Tier 3. Different track, though. Silverstone reverse for Tier 2 and Tier 3, but like I said, it makes it more impressive. And even if Andre or JTK somehow stick it inside the top 6, you join Skither up there, and it is impressive performance at that point.
I'm in the gutter again. Alright, who's coming out? Skitter's coming back out with just over 3.5 minutes left to go.
Do Ferrari stick with their lineup after this week, just based on what Alex and Skither in 2 races, not being teammates though, only Academy teammates, have done in that car? I know it's been a lot of a talking point for a while on, will invade switch Jack and TB with Alex and Skither. Based on the pace this game, though, Alex and Skither have been outperforming their equipment. Do you do that, or do you not do that if you invade? That will be a big question, and even TB suggested that being a thing to happen in the near future. If you even keep Jack and TB and Ferrari, and you put Skither and Haas, or Skither and Alex and Haas still, you still have Haas scoring points more than they should be, and maybe that helps them in the constructors race. I mean, this is the best Haas have started the season. Look at what Alex did last week, P7, and they're sitting pretty comfortable in that constructors championship. And now we look to see if Skither can do what Alex did last week, get in the top 3. Maybe what Leo did 1 point last season, get that car in the front row, or maybe do the unthinkable and get on pole, which is probably unlikely, but never say never. We have seen some crazy things happen here in RPL.
That we have, you never know what's going to happen at any point. Someone could have a flyer. As 2 minutes left in the session, Skither starting his qualifying lap a little early, but that's okay. Everyone else
just
starting
feels like season 10 with Cookie right now. I know it's not over yet, guys, but just the fact of the matter is Cookie has got such a good lap to start with. And Skither, by the way, using what seemed to be last game, the esports line on the front straight.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but I didn't. Let's see.
Yeah.
600 sub, not bad.
600 sub. Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to get a really good line and a good sector split in Sector 1. It's not that difficult, pretty much. It's Sector 2 that's really going to be playing into effect for these guys. So you have to get the right entry, the right exit, right power. Everything falls into place here. Skither comes in about almost 2 tenths up. So that's going to put him that's gonna put him just ahead of Alex Norris at this moment.
Right here.
Oh yeah. That's either Cookie or Cryptic ahead of him.
That's Cookie, and he's giving him a massive toe down the front straightaway.
They are gonna be working together next season.
Why not do it now?
Yeah.
Get it out of the way first.
Here we go. We're gonna see how much that toe made a difference. Coming across the final corner.
Comes Skither.
Good final corner. Not going to be pole, but it's pretty close. It's up to second.
Yeah. Solid line. Solid stuff there.
I wonder if Skither will repay the favor.
Trying to see who's going to be the next across the line. I believe it's going to be Simba. Clearly, currently up 2 tenths in Sector 1.
This isn't anything
Alex
pull-worthy,
Norris made it
but
to the line with 9 seconds left.
gonna say with Simba, not anything pull-worthy right here, but still looking to jump up the order.
He could get up into the top 5, possibly, as it stands. And of course I say something and he goes
Oh,
around.
hang on.
Commentator's curse.
He's backing up to get out of the way of the driver.
Too early
Smart
on the
move,
power.
Smart move.
Too early on the power, it seems.
He got greedy. That's what happened.
He's getting out of the way, it seems, folks.
Cookie currently up 4/10. I just don't see anyone being able to beat that time set by Cookie.
Alex may be the
I don't
only one
see
I
it
could
either.
think of, but even then, I still don't see it happening.
Which, by the way, Cookie has backed out of his lap, so that's going to be the benchmark, 131.4.
Here comes Jack now, and he improves but stays in 5th. Cryptic comes out of the final corner. All deployed U's goes up in the 4th. Here comes Willow now, and he wraps up. He goes up in the 3rd. And let's see, next up is gonna be, well, Andrea invalidated, so he's no go. Torn Penguin stays in 10th. JTK up in the 8th. Now we have Skither and Alex Norris to respond. Here comes Alex Norris. Gets it! By 33 thousandths.
There you go. I thought, and you know what? That was all. Well, obviously, I'm not going to take anything away from Alex Norris there. That was a fantastic lap, but Skither gave him a huge toe, just like Cookie did to Skither. Hilarious enough. Cookie gave Skither a toe, and then Skither just decided, you know what? I'm going to help my teammate.
First career pole.
First career pole.
Yeah.
And back-to-back.
He was in Tier 3 not long ago either.
No, I know. Back-to-back T3s for Haas as well. 2 different drivers. Both P3s.
Oh no!
Oh?
Well, Cookie's strategy is screwed. He got disconnected.
Well, there you go. He has time. He can come back. He has time.
Yeah, but he won't be able to take control of his car. So that means whatever tire strat and all that stuff, he'll be stuck with it. And he's going to be stuck with like 4 laps extra fuel.
That's very
The
true.
38th different pole sitter in RPL F1. Good for Alex. You know, we've been praising him so much. I didn't want to see him let us down, but I mean, you know, fair enough. Cookie's so mad about it. You know, I don't blame him. That top 3, by the way, all going to be Mercedes Academy drivers next season. Alex, Skither, and Cookie.
Ryan's currently crying, throwing up, losing all his good drivers.
Am I though?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
uh,
Cookie did the right thing. Not when anyone else was willing to go that aggressive. And you know what? It's good. It's good that Cookie has gone this aggressive because he's probably one of the only ones who could do it with the cars that Mercedes Academy has. Alex Norris has been putting in so much effort, and he finally pulled off pole position for the first time. And Skither, like you said, back-to-back top 3s for Haas. It's the first time ever that's been done. Great drivers in that car and really bad cars. Yeah, so one stop we're expecting, I think, medium hard. If you're careful on tires, if not, you're going to have to do a 2 maybe. Polish, you need to invite back, I think.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to invite
This
Polish,
will be fun.
Titan. He has lagged out.
Huh?
Polish lagged out. You need to invite him to the game.
Oh. Hang on. 5 lights are on for the Chinese Grand Prix of RPL. Lights out and away we go. Alex Norris responds well. Cookie in AI bogged down and losing numerous spots. And good lord, Cookie loses numerous spots. Goes down to 6th. And Willow now jumps up in the 2nd. Skither up in the 3rd. Jack going up against Cryptic. Oh, contact! Good night, Skither! Gets hit from behind by Jack. And he goes into a big spin. That's gotta hurt for Skither.
Oh, it was first Cryptic, and then Jack just finished him off.
Oh, we have more cars going off. That is GTK that went wide.
And he got up to
Out
fourth.
of turn 5.
Got up to fourth before
Oh,
then.
big crash! That is Cam and Gecko coming together.
This is shades of Season 8 with the way this started. This is so hectic.
Holy cow.
I don't know how Cam is still in this race, let alone Gecko.
Yeah. They hit
JTK,
that wall at a ton.
who clipped that grass Titan, only fell down to 11th, so not terrible for him. But luckily, Red Bull have salvaged something from their terrible qualifying 9th and 13th on the start. So many places gained for them.
Further back, Josh having to deal with red fire. Whoa, contact! A little shifting. Not sure if Red did anything screwy with Josh there, but we'll have to see if they go into the hairpin here.
Looking at that on the replay, that's not good.
Right there. There goes Gecko trying to recover, but at the end of lap 1, Alex Norris leads the way over Willow, Jack, Cryptic, and Cookie. Cookie has recovered to 5th.
Looks like
And
Josh.
fallen to 7th at one point.
When that happened, it looks like Josh just drove right into Red Fire, and Red Fire did the same thing back.
3 wide.
I mean, we're looking out on the stream, and it's just not good elbows out right there. This is getting very dirty. And you know who took advantage? Gecko. He needed that badly, Titan, with what he had happen with Cam.
I mean, to be fair, Red Fire has become public enemy #1 in the Red Bull Academy for his antics they did last week. And it seems to continue again this week.
Yeah, but let's be real. I know Red Fire started it last week, but this week I think Josh started his own with him, and that wasn't right.
Well,
but Red Fire's not fair.
They could spin it and say that Red Fire was being dirty and rude and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, for all we know,
it could lead to a conspiracy.
You know, that we didn't see
lead
before
to
the back
some
straight.
conspiracy.
There could have been.
Could lead to some conspiracy theories to YouTubers, not YouTubers, viewers. They may think that, oh, I think maybe Red Bull is intentionally trying to get Red banned. As Willow down the outside gets past Alex Norris, we have a new leader. Side by side with Minico. A little tight there, but George takes advantage of it, gets past Minico in the 10th, and try to chase down JTK to get himself into the 9th place spot. By the way, George has no ERS available. Contact between Blonde and JTK. Now, bear in mind, Blonde is on loan for this event, and George bumping and banging with JTK.
Red Bull's not having a fun time with some of these guys trying to come to the field.
Oh, slide. JTK's part. That was a mishap on JTK's part.
The thing with Josh and Red Fire, by the way, you know, if we saw the contact in the back straight, there could have been something that happened before that we didn't know about. So maybe Josh was doing his little own landmine of retaliation, I guess. I don't know.
LS into the first penalty box. He went wide just before the end of Sector 2. Let's go up towards the front.
Oh, hello.
LS into the wall. And reset the track. Not sure what that was about. I was just about to switch over to see the fight between the front 5.
Yeah, I know he's part of Ferrari, you know, with the Haas tonight, but I mean that's going to easily get reported for resetting the track. There's no tolerance for that here. Just easy way to get back going and cheat as much time.
He just intentionally crashed.
That's what it looks like, yeah. Looks like it's not going to be a safety car, though.
Thank goodness it's not a safety car. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, just seen that on the map, so... Isn't LS like one of your Tier 2 guys or something?
Yeah, he was in the Tier 2 race
Cookie
yesterday.
up against Jack. and gets up in the third.
He was in Tier 2 yesterday, but he wasn't in Tier 2 for Ferrari Academy, though.
Oh.
I think he raced on Williams, but I could be wrong.
That would be correct, yep.
But he is part of the Ferrari Academy.
Down 14th, though, from the start. You know what happened to him. Cryptic tagged him. Jack finished him off. It really is unfortunate just because that's the only driver Haas is relying on, and now he's going to have to do a comeback drive.
Alpine,
Minico almost lost it.
Good save.
Yeah. Well, he lost multiple spots, though.
I guess it was top 7 just gone.
Yeah, they're just chilling. 5.5 seconds Andre has the GTK. And Cookie gets bonked, gets sent wide.
I'm sure he's not gonna be happy about that one.
Did he make a mistake in the hairpin, or did he have help?
I mean, if he didn't have help, he's just
Cookie lost multiple spots.
If he didn't have help, he's just trying to avoid hitting the back of somebody in that train up front because, you know, you could easily mess with braking and hit somebody and cause a huge kerfuffle.
Okay, Ryan, you sound like you're talking to like a Wendy's microphone. You gotta fix that.
Hello, welcome to Taco Bell. Would you be using a mobile app today?
Gift card. Alright. Anyways, we got the top.
That was just funny.
We got the top 7. Look, we got a caution in the back.
Oh, that's Cam, off in turn 2.
Hopefully that's better for me now.
Yes, you sound.
I'm done using the Taco Bell Wendy's app, but no. What I was trying to say about Cookie is if he didn't have any help there, guys, he would have been trying to avoid hitting somebody and causing a huge kerfuffle on the train. Easy to get the braking all wrong when following.
Cookie went back through on Andrea.
Past Andrea to get 6th place back, and Skither going up against GTK. Oh, GTK goes sliding. Did he do the same thing that Minico did?
I'm not sure.
I think so.
Skither did not have a good start falling all the way back. He was as far down as 16th, I believe, after starting 3rd. He's back up to 10th. He's done a really good recovery job.
I mean, he did get into a tango with his own academy teammate.
Look at this, George Gecko.
Jack. Yep. And George against Gecko there.
Cookie also got by Simba.
Yep. Did see that too. Caught that on the screen too. And now, I mean, literally this top 7 is they are just going to be playing very comfortable. That's for sure.
It's weird. You guys
doing a stellar job right now, guys. I just want to mention that before we go on any further.
Yeah, Andrea's doing great. P7 still sitting in this front.
Minico's going for 2, or is he?
He wants blonde. He's not going to get it done though.
I got 1, but he didn't get blonde.
Gecko's the biggest gainer from lap 1. Or, yeah, well, first few laps.
Cam spin the pits. That's gonna suck.
Oh, there goes Lyral Fusion, and Penguin slides 2. That was just cars trying to avoid hitting one another, and it ended up involving 2 of them. Got all the braking all wrong, and you saw the end result of that.
That's the thing with it. That's the thing with this game, and also last game. You have to be careful when you're close to somebody.
It's really been every
if you
F1
brake
game.
at your normal, you might get some overspeed and wind up hitting and getting into an incident with one of your compatriots.
There comes Cookie.
That's happened to plenty of people.
Oh.
Yeah, Cookie switching with the McLarens, and Alex Norris reclaims the lead from Willow.
It's really been every game the way it's been with F1 games. You just cannot follow somebody and then rely on the racing line when behind them, because we see GTK overtaken now for 11.
Almost lost it.
Yeah, you cannot rely on the racing line when following drivers. You got to brake earlier if you're in that train, and you saw the end result numerous times so far this race. Some avoided it, some did not.
By the way, just want to take a look, showing up on the tire management section, as Fusion gets past Penguin for the 16th position. Tiro, Torn Penguin, Minico, Blonde, Skither, George, and Cookie, all on the hard compound tire. Everybody else is on the medium compound tire. And take a look at the biggest gainers and losers. so far for this race. Gecko is the biggest gainer, gaining 7 spots, with Josh right behind, only gaining 6. But the biggest losers right now, it's a tie between Skither and Penguin, losing 7 since the start.
Tiro, next up in the penalty box.
That's full Saubers now.
Sauber, this is a race to forget for the Saubers. It went good.
It's a game to forget.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to mention something.
Unless you're Alex Norris, then you can make that car look beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of Alex, he's put vulnerable. Here we go.
Decides not. Willow decides against it.
But
Will was taking a peek, but didn't see the chance to go for it. Cookie thought the same with Jack too, but wasn't close enough to warrant that attack. Meanwhile, further back, Bao heading into the hairpin. Blonde gets past Minico for the P12 spot, and GTK close behind him in 14th.
All that braking earlier in that train just catches Cryptic up. You see he was about a second back, 6/10 now, so that's the result of it.
Speaking of people that have been put vulnerable, Simba and Andrea both losing that front pack. It is now a 5-horse race.
Manico slammed the door shut on Blonde. I'm sure Blonde won't be happy about that.
Yeah, for a little bit ahead of them, Gecko under pressure from both George and Skither. This is for the tail end of the points here. 8th, 9th, and 10th. Fighting it out here. Josh trying to claw his way back up to Skither to make it a four-car race.
Red Bull got away
back end of the points.
Red Bull got away with a chaotic lap 1. If this was a normal race, they may only have 1 car in contention for points right now, but fair credit to them on the recovery. They're gonna be in the points for yet another weekend running, if it stays this way.
It's crazy to think, just this time last year, round 2, season 3, tier 3, back in November, Alex Norris wasn't even getting a podium in tier 3 here. Now he's leading tier 1.
Up against Jack, slings shots by to get into that 3rd place position. So now, Cookie recovering and is up into the podium spot, and looks like Tiro had a spin right at the end of sector 2. I believe that is turn 10. He had that mishap in. Further back, Red Fire gets passed by Fusion for the P15 spot. Never mind, Fusion on loan for in the Aston Martin from Mercedes Academy. Speaking of that, Mercedes Academy, half the field is fielded by these guys. Blonde is part of it, on loan for Racing Bulls, and as I mentioned with Fusion for Aston. And then their regular crew drivers. On board with Jack. Oh, that's Skither!
Yeah, big moment back there.
Oh no, it wasn't Skither. It
George.
Was George. George spawned it.
I think Skither got an illegal overtake from that, and you could see him giving the place back to George. This only catches Minico and Blonde back up.
I wonder if maybe with those two being slow up and everything, did George and Skither have a bit of a coming together in turn 5?
Wouldn't be the
because
first
they were
time.
both trying to chase. They were both trying to chase Gecko down, but
Cookie
now
got
that's
Willow.
all gone.
Cookie got Willow.
Cookie
So
got Willow.
that is important for our battle for the lead. Cookie has better battery than Alex, but Willow has better battery than Cookie.
Yeah, the battery is a huge factor to put into play here
Switch
as
between Red
things
Bull.
are going in.
I was just going to say, at this point, I think Cookie has the better tires as well than all these guys.
For sure, being on hards is
Cookie,
just better at this stage. Oh,
the only guy on the hard car tires, and Josh is going in a pit.
don't you
So
think
the
this is early?
first of the mediums is going in.
This is early, don't you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of these tracks are now 2 stops instead of your typical 1.
Yeah, but I
So
mean, you
maybe
look
those
at
mediums
yesterday.
are falling completely apart.
You look at yesterday, though. I mean, you wouldn't want to make an extra pit stop around Silverstone with how long the pit lane is, and I think a lot of people are going to realize you are in a better spot if you can save tires and not go as slow, but still slower than your normal pace, and make it with a 1 stop. I mean, we saw that in Bahrain quite a bit throughout all the tiers. Tier 2 and Tier 3. And we would have seen it if Tier 1 ran there. And Cookie, at a moment, they're out of turn 9 and 10. So, I mean, even if he's trying to save tires or not, he's still having a tough time following through dirty areas.
Cookie and
2 or
Willow
3 the
both have
drivers in the rest.
100% battery going down this back straightaway here. Alex is going to be in a very vulnerable spot. Might lose 2 positions here.
Alex is dumping. Cookie's dumping. Yellows.
GTK.
Off.
GTK goes off as Cookie gets into the lead.
Massive
Passes
lockup,
Alex Norris.
though.
We have a new leader.
Cookie had a massive lockup as he went through. That's going to damage the tires a little bit, but he got away with it.
Let's see if anyone does decide to go in. As I'm on board with Jack, you can just see the graining on the on those front tires. Not so bad graining on the rear tires, but you can see the grain on that left front, as you can see on this onboard.
No one coming in yet this time explains my point and confusion about why did Josh come in early. Fusion's coming in now, but Josh came in quite early. We saw the undercut be powerful yesterday in Tier 2. Maybe he's thinking it could happen the same way here for Tier 1 in China. And someone destroyed the pit marker board. That might have been Red Fire.
GTK is in as well with Red Fire. They are pitted. Skidder trying right behind George for the P9 spot.
Almost capped Alex out of DRS here.
He just did.
Yes.
Alex is using battery just to claw his way back in it, and it will come down to these 2 turns if he has it or not. Alex knows how crucial that is. Didn't get it.
No.
But bear in mind, Cookie is on the hard compound tires. It's possible maybe these mediums are have just about fallen off a cliff for these guys.
But that's why Alex cannot be behind Cookie at this stage. If Alex was in front of Cookie, then it maybe be a little bit better. Alex has to rely on the undercuts to be so powerful here, and Cookie to get stuck in dirty air when he goes to the mediums.
Yep, I was just about to say.
They're in.
Willow as well. Jack is coming in as well.
Oh, Jack in too. Ferrari double stack.
Simbo got in the grass as he's about to stay out. But he made a mistake in front of Andrea.
Jack is going to have a bad pit stop here. He's going to lose a lot of time.
Yes. Double stack from the Ferrari. And this is going to hold Cryptic. No, it won't. Thought it would have.
Didn't look too bad.
Skitter's in 2, Penguin in 2.
Gecko didn't lose too much.
Penguin almost hit the wall when he came in. That brake marker board is fully destroyed. Now I'm wondering, where is Josh going to cycle out here? It's going to be near Gecko and Skitter, but is he ahead? Is he behind? Josh on the main straight, Gecko coming out. Oh, this could be a collision. Holy cow, that was so nip and tuck. Gecko holds on.
Gecko stays ahead of Josh there, and as for everybody else, Alex Norris in 9th, Willow 8th, Alex is 7th, Willow 8, Cryptic 9, and Jack is in P10. So now, all the guys ahead, these guys are on the hard compound tires, except for Simba and Andrea. They have yet to pit.
BTK just got Tiro elbows out right there, a little bit of beating and banging. Penguin and Skither are going to have to make these mediums last 16 laps. Can they do it?
Let's see why not.
Wait, Skither pitted up to the hards?
Yes.
Wow.
They're going to...
Skither's doing a 2-stop.
Well, maybe. I don't know. If you're going to try to make the mediums last 16 laps, it's crazy, but here goes Willow.
Got Alex Norris on the straight. And Simba and Andrea are going in.
We got a caution, another Sauber.
Tiro is spun out.
Ooh, Simba.
Oh! Yeah, for Simba, that is not what he wanted. That's going to hurt him.
He was running the points too. I mean, he would have cycled out inside the points once everything were to figure itself out, and everyone were to pit here. But I don't think he's going to stay in the points for that 10 second. It'll be interesting to see where he's come out. And Torn Penguin Red Fire. It's not the first time these guys got elbows out. You guys saw saw on the leaderboard things change in Red Fire and Penguin. There was contact, but we're looking at 9th place getting hairy right here again.
Yeah, that was tight.
Jeez Louise. You got to think
Tap
Skither's going to
there,
go for a
but-
dive. Skither's on the battery. Skither saw Andrea go defensive. Andrea
Oh,
attacked
oh!
Josh! But they keep it straight.
And that has to hurt. That hurt Andrea.
Skither.
Andrea saw Skither was looking for a move. He blocked it in. Had a bit too much overspeed. Bumps into Josh. Josh is still is okay and going. And Andrea came out horrible out of that one.
Skither
So I
made
mean that
Andrea
was driver error on
do
Andrea's
that.
part.
Yeah, well, Skither made Andrea go defensive, and then Andrea just got it in way too deep trying to cover Skither and then hit another car.
Yeah, he panicked under the pressure.
He paid the price.
Panicked a
He
little
paid
bit.
the price,
Hate to say it.
I know Skither's going to want to get Josh now. He was just on the battery, Skither was.
Looks like he's
there's
going
your
to
answer.
get him. It might
Drag
go side by.
race.
They're gonna go side by side.
Drag race.
Yeah, and Skither gets ahead, and Willow gets ahead of
I
Blonde.
just want to mention something. Look how much time Cryptic and Jack have lost to Alex.
Oh, Willow for 2 and 1 gets it. And here goes Alex too. Alex connecting wheels with Blonde. Alex now is Minako here, and Alex is going to outpower Minako as well.
Great move by both of them.
Yes.
Very timely,
Very
especially
solid
to
move.
try and keep pulling on Cryptic and Jack. And not just for Cryptic and Jack,
Oh!
for both the races. Oh, that was contact.
Yeah, Blonde had a tiny bit too much speed, got into the back of Minako, but Minako okay, keeping her going. Keep her going.
You gotta
going
think,
back-
Skither's got a lot of pace on this medium tire, but he gotta make it in the end unless he's gonna do a 2-stop.
Going back to what I mentioned earlier, Jack doing that double stack basically just cost him any chance at this race at this point.
Gotta think it brings George closer too. Is yellow.
That's
Josh. It was Josh.
Yeah.
He's lost
it
touch
was
with
Josh.
Andrea from it. Could have
Dang.
clipped the curb, something could have happened, but Cryptic's all over Blonde. Here goes Cryptic. Cryptic wants it now.
And he does so game past Blonde.
Willow just got past
Blonde
George.
doesn't want to get that much of a fight there, as Willow gets ahead of George up
So-
in the second.
Now another car in between Willow and Alex. How does Alex get this one? Alex needs to get George main straight now.
Looks like he isn't gonna get him. George
George
defending.
just jumped the battery.
Oh,
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, he's going for it.
Good move.
Brave stuff
Good
by
guy,
Alex
Tom.
Norris there.
And George couldn't go for an up and under. Alex had it covered off. Skither fastest lap. No surprise there. That's
Yeah.
mediums though. So it's still in a Haas. Give it a lot of credit.
You don't get a point for it, but you get bragging rights.
Exactly. And that's nice to have here, especially nowadays.
You know, I've been meaning to ask why did they get rid of the fastest lap point anyways in F1?
For shits and giggles.
Clearly. Because F1 doesn't like fun.
Well, I mean, they got a Saudi as their president.
Ooh, we went there.
We did, I guess. We did. Well, we have a Frenchman, a British man, and Faded's gonna make fun of me for saying it wrong, but either a Bosnia? Am I correct in saying that right? I don't know. Faded's gonna correct me. Bosnian. Yeah, there you go. That's the 3 different countries battling for 14th to 16th, and behind that, Tiro is just.
Bosnian.
You said it.
Who's Bosnian?
Penguin.
No,
Penguin is.
Penguin.
I didn't know that.
And actually, if you want to be more precise, because I want to make it Cyril's laugh with it.
Oh dear.
As Jack gets 2 for 1 against Minako and Blonde.
Oh, there was damage. I think
up
something happened with Blonde and Minako. There was major contact down there at the hairpin. I saw something go flying.
Yeah. Let's see, taking a peek.
Oh, yep, and there goes Minako.
Minako out to the pits.
Finally, George too.
George as well.
Just a race to forget for Sauber, by the way, as I was saying before that. You were saying.
Anyways, to be more precise on it, it's actually Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
2 different ones.
Just,
Mediums for George and Minako to get the end. This is more realistic than what Skither and Penguin are doing. Let's be real here.
Whoa! Alex almost lost it in turn 5 hairpin.
And he knows right now he needs to get Willow and get him in dirty air, but also still pull a gap here because right now Cookie's coming out and third with the way this race is going. Depending on the pit stop loss, I mean, Cookie will have the better tires, but Willow and Alex have to figure out something here. Willow and
Cookie
Cookie in
will
the
have
same academy.
DRS, courtesy of the Saubers.
And guess which Sauber that is? His good friend Cam.
Yep.
That doesn't help Alex Norris, though.
And you know, at this current rate, if he keeps it up like this, it could be possible, maybe, if luck part... No, maybe not. I was about to
Willow
say maybe
defending,
Cookie
Willow
could get a pit stop ahead.
Willow's defending, Cookie's in.
Cookie
Here
just
goes
went in.
Alex.
On the inside goes it down, and into the net lead goes Alex.
If you're going to
We're
get
now
a
gonna
swap done,
see.
it has to be before the corner, and that was perfect.
We're now going to see how much time Cookie did end up losing.
Both on the
See,
same
Cookie
battery. Willow and
come.
Alex,
Cookie's
I think.
still coming out.
Alex goes
There goes
by,
Alex. There
Willow goes by,
Cookie.
Cryptic is going to get him.
Jack Miles will not.
That's
Yep,
the double
so
stack
Cookie
effect.
Will be, so Cookie 1.3 seconds behind his teammate in fourth.
4 seconds off the lead right there. 3.8 now. So Cookie has to put in a masterclass as the Red Bulls get
And
back to
with
points with
Blonde
one.
in, that is everybody done with their stops.
Those mediums must have been literally dying. I don't understand why Jack decided to go in as, Fusion and Penguin going at it.
This invites Red to the party. Hero's now at 9 seconds just for reference as well. I've got to think Willow and Alex here, they just have to try and push the hardest they can and not battle too hard with the situation they're in. As here we go, a dive from Fusion.
Ooh.
And the second tier 1 start almost hits Penguin. He does connect wheels there.
Almost a coordinating effect there. And by the way, I actually just want to point this out. If the race ends where it is currently, Simba is going to get a point. He will finish in P10. Because the gap between Simba and George right
Cryptic
now
lets Cookie
is
go.
almost 13 seconds.
That's crucial. Cryptic let Cookie go. And Cookie this lap alone. And basically, you could say the outlap has gained 1.4 seconds. I mean, this is going to be crazy pace difference. How does Alex and Willow defend what seems to be inevitable?
Oh boy, here we go.
4-car race
Fusion.
down the back straight.
Takes over.
Getting it on.
Ooh, little lockup. Trying to go for a
Switchback.
switchback. Can't get it done. Fusion up to 12.
Fusion up in the 12th over Penguin.
Surely it's a slap Cookie gets DRS. I mean, he's just got a safe tire too, but I mean, that's not the worst of his concerns right
Oh,
now.
look at this. Penguin. Little Fusion tried to shut the door.
Oh, touch! And Minico sees the door open
Ooh.
against Penguin.
Little
Goes
hockey
in
puck
on the
move.
inside, now the outside. But Penguin muscles his way and keeps that spot.
Cookie has
Fusion
now
and
caught DRS of Willow and Alex.
Penguin and Minico both in the battery. Before that contact, they connect wheels. A
Woo!
little touching.
But Minico gets it done.
Cookie is going to overtake Willow here. He might get Alex too.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It doesn't look like he's
Yep.
going to get Alex here, but he might get him on the next straightaway, and this could be race over right now.
I think he knows it's just inevitable. You know, Willow, if he couldn't defend that, Alex knows his time is coming.
Yeah, Cookie up into second place now, just breathing all over
Yep, here he goes.
over
This is
Alex
it.
Norris.
It's going to be the easiest
over
overtake
here.
in his
Here he
career.
goes outside, and there he goes into the lead. Alex Norris, how would you like your cookies made? You want chocolate
Oh,
chip,
Cookie,
oatmeal
clip the
raisin,
grass.
or peanut butter? Woo, baby!
He almost went off there, and that could have been race ending as Minico got Fusion down the back straight. My word. Red Fire now beating off a Blonde, but Blonde got him.
And now we're just going to have to see. I mean, we saw in that first run how quickly those mediums died off.
And into the penalty box you go, Red Fire.
We just got to wonder, are those mediums for Cookie going to die off before the race ends?
Even if they do, if he pulls a big enough gap, I mean, you can just keep him in dirty air and it'll be okay by the end of it if he falls into the clutches of Alex. But even Alex couldn't cover that, and Cookie, who won the season 12 finale, his only win in that season. Won Japan season 11 after his championship season. That was his only other win besides Abu Dhabi in the stewards room. Is looking to finally win something not from the stewards room for the first time in almost a year. That Japan race was almost a year ago, and both RB swapped a bit ago too. It's a 1.5 second gap now. I mean, it's a race for second with Willow and Alex. Alex, don't even think he's had a podium to his name. Willow has. He got one last season in the stewards room at Brazil. He wants one on track now too.
Mm-hmm.
So Willow looking for some on track redemption. Cookie as well too. Like I said about Florian with round one, I mean, whoever gets in this McLaren, if they're a fast enough driver, you got a good chance.
So just a bit of an update right now. Oh, a Skinner goes in.
Two-stop maybe. Blonde got Fusion, Red got
he's
Penguin.
going in for his two-stop, yeah. But anyways, Simba, who is chasing Gecko right now for the P6, he is now pulled a 10-second gap over Josh right now.
Penguin
Josh to Simba, 10.5 seconds.
Penguin joins Skither in as well. So if it's 8 laps, that's a risk here. Cookie's going to be pushing these first 4 laps and then kind of managing these next 4 to make it. And Tiro is struggling badly. He just caused the yellow a moment ago and he almost locked it up there into the sector split. And he might give Cookie DRS here soon. Yeah, he just spun again.
Yeah, Cookie did.
This is terrible.
Skither did do 8 laps on those tires.
I'm just listening to Ryan be like a disappointed dad right now.
Well, I mean, Tiro might have the pace for Tier 1 when you put him in 1 lap, but right now in a race, this is just terrible to watch. I feel so bad.
And
I feel so bad for a Sauber. Yeah, doesn't help Alex.
And there he goes. Gives
got it.
McLaren DRS.
He got it, yeah. I feel bad for whoever drives a Sauber anyway, though, but I mean, for Tiro's case, I mean, it didn't look great in the Mercedes last season, though, did it? It sucks. It really does to watch this unfold.
He was good in Tier 3.
He was, and maybe that's where he should be.
Ooh.
Well, he won't look as bad right now. I'm sorry.
I'll see.
Will currently trying to chase Alex down for the 2nd place position. Simba harassing Gecko for the 6th place spot, despite that penalty. And further back, Blonde trying to chase Minico down for 11th.
Polish, I want to know what you're going to say, because, I mean, the Tiro's is second behind the next car, though, and he's got a teammate behind the battle.
I was going to say, I don't see you saying anything about freaking Cam over there, sitting 19th, a lap down.
It's his first laps in the game. Oh, Skither! Tag red fire in the snail section.
Skither! Ooh, baby. Can you get the power down?
Skither. Don't get yourself a penalty here late in the race. Might not be a point in the end for you, but he is weaving and not happy with Red Fire. Will Red Fire repay the favor, saying, don't weave in front of me? I know that story a little bit too much. Look at Imola with Reese and I. Don't weave in front of somebody, that'll piss them off.
I don't see how Skitter's going to get back in the points here. He has to catch, what, 10 seconds to Minico? No.
See, the thing is...
He is 12 seconds behind George.
Oh, that Fusion in the wall! Fusion
has
smacked the barrier, exiting turn 10, and that is a position for Skither, to your point.
Well, there you go.
Minor damage on his end, on the left wing.
I think if Skither was going to get anybody Polish, it was going to be Fusion too, but I think, you know, once you get Minico, are you going to get any more after that? Probably not, unless there's a puncture from the likes of George or Cookie.
Blonde looked like he might have went. Oh, that was way too close for comfort.
Minico's got some PTSD on that corner with Night Owl back in the days in F2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Minico does have quite a bit of PTSD in regards to Tier 1 races. I mean, think the Jetta last season when he went airborne.
If his car takes the slightest bit of air, you might think he's going to end up like the one F2 driver did today and upside down. And I really hope that does not happen. Thank goodness for the Halo.
I need to watch that race back. I race back. I missed it.
Oh, Alex had a wiggle out of turn 10, and I know the gap is still going to be 4 seconds, but it does invite Willow a little closer. and Fusion repairs that wing. So at least for Tiro's case, he will not be a second away from the car in front. It might be a little closer now.
Oh, and another caution. I'll give you a guess.
That's for Cam.
I hate to hate on Sauber because
I do too, but
they're terrible cars. But
yeah. Cam, I can understand in this situation. This is the first laps of the game where Tiro, it's not the same though. It's a terrible car to drive, so I give him a little bit of credit, but yeah, I don't know. Blonde close to Minico. George might swap with Josh this time, and in fact, Josh didn't get DRS off the Sauber there. You would have thought he would have, but he didn't. And
Nope.
George and Josh swap now again.
Well, George will get the DRS applied, I think.
Oh, collision! Blonde and Minico! Movement on the straight, and it ends in Minico off a penalty and damage to the bollard. So Minico and Blonde. Issues there.
that was, I mean, I mentioned it last lap how close Blonde got to Minico's back bumper. Probably about an inch off, if that, and he just got a little too close that time, it looks like.
Yeah, but that allowed Skither to get past Minico and is now within striking distance of Blonde. So if he gets past Blonde this lap, Skither has about 4 laps to try to catch Josh to get himself into the point.
Yeah, but let's be honest though, like you and Polish were saying, it's really not going to happen here unless the Red Bulls get caught out by some sort of issue or something goes on. I mean, Andrea's done a good job in 8th, so I mean, that'll be good points. The Red Bulls won't catch them, but the Red Bulls are really only in a spot of 9th and 10th here, and that's good considering what happened in qualifying though. But they're just being aided right now by the Sauber giving DRS.
I must have been caught napping, but I just noticed that Simba got past Gecko for P6. I must have been caught sleeping.
That
on
was
that
Andrea who just went off in the background though, behind Simba and Gecko. I was just talking about what a good run Andrea was doing and how the Red Bulls aren't going to get close to him now, but that is 2 seconds erased to Andrea's name. In terms of the fight.
You can't afford to have mishaps like this at this late stage of the race, because if you have mistakes this late, it will cost
Skither
you.
gets Blonde. Gecko gets back by Simba as well.
Yep. And currently, at this present moment, Simba is 12.2 seconds ahead of George and 13 seconds ahead of Josh. So at this present rate, Simba will only lose 1 spot to Andrea. So Simba's not doing too bad at all. He's looking at some solid points.
It's definitely been a race to forget for Red Bull.
Been a race to forget to Sauber as well, and I mean, to be fair
we're
to
not
them,
talking about Sauber
Well,
here.
Sauber's been
I'm
crap
gonna-
for 3 games.
I'm gonna insult you guys on some information proud of me from Tiro. He did say he's only played this game for an hour, so I guess similar situation to Cam. I'll be fair on him, but you know, not what you want to see. Not a good look.
Well,
but
you
at
also
the end
gotta
of the day,
remember.
little easier on them. I'll be.
Well, yeah, you gotta remember, you know, day to forget for Red Bull, they have more expectations than they contend.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless of the car, you don't expect Sauber to be 48 seconds off the next car. But with their circumstances, I can understand it now. As second place is close. Willow got to Alex in the braking zone. And by the way, if Cookie does win this race, it'll be win number 22 in his RPL career.
Nice.
For F1 sake. And remember, he's not
Double
even won an F2 as well. So, something to keep in mind there, too. And from pole, you know, Cookie, he's making a habit here of winning from pole quite a bit here. I mean, Leo did too. Skither, not as much, but he's won from pole quite a lot. You know, didn't win from pole as much as you think. Luke Grange didn't either.
Well, Alex Norris had the pole for this one.
Oh, sorry, that's on me.
I digress.
Yeah, that's on me.
Yeah.
Cookie's just been so
Cookie,
dominant.
I mean, he got booted out. He got booted out, and his strategy was like really screwed up. But he managed to recover it though.
Yeah, I mean that has to be driver of the day worthy.
Oh yeah. Well, Redfire's in for a second stop.
This is probably gonna be a bathroom break for the amount of stuff he's seen this race, whether it's Josh antics, whether it's his teammate. I mean, there's just been so much going on for these Alpines to start this season. Soft tires, you're not going to get a point for it, Redfire, but I really hope you can have some fun with this because this has been not the way Redfire would have wanted to start the season. I know in Australia he had the pace. I mean, Andrea's teammate did too, but you know, you can have the pace all you want, but you gotta have the racecraft. And you know, Andrea didn't really have the good racecraft in Australia, but he has today in China. P8 for Williams is a really good effort. That's the 6th fastest car, and we got yellows.
That is.
Guess what?
That is Sauber again.
He just took some time to stroke that thing.
Mm.
Unfortunate.
Oh baby.
We're gonna see if we got any battles coming around. Everyone's
still
pretty
closing
far
on
away
Alex.
from
I think
each other.
I think Willow's just kind of pressurizing Alex to say, make a mistake. I want to wait for the last lap though, because he's got 100% battery. Alex has got 70, so Willow's still at an advantage. Andrea went off at the final corner. He's not having a fun time trying to nurse these tires to the end. And this is reminiscent to last season, folks. 8.3 seconds. That's the gap Skidder basically won with in the Ferrari. And Cookie is trying to win here, I guess, similar to how he would have in Season 10 without that safety car at the end. Remember, it was Ding and Leo Lund. Leo Lund on his debut that day challenging Cookie, who was just cooking up a baked win.
Yeah, and at that time when Leo made his debut here, I saw the $ sign, so I was like, ooh, this guy could be the one.
No.
And I just got him next season. Oh, that is Skither.
That's Tiro this time.
Oh, it was Tiro. Okay, I thought it was Skither that went off.
Well, I watched it for the Red Bulls because he was giving them DRS for so many laps in a row. And, man, he had a good run of people with Red
Will's
Bulls.
pouring it out. He's going down the inside and gets himself up into second place.
I think Polish and I could agree. I would have thought he would have waited the last lap, but he wants to go now.
Yeah. I'm going to mention something. Cookies went with 3 of the top teams in F1, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes. He has not won with McLaren. This is going to be the 4th different team he's won with.
Mm-hmm.
And Simba is only 4/10 away from breaking that 10-second margin he needs over Andrea. Another mistake from Andrea could allow Simba to hold on to this P7, who's had a very quiet day regardless of the 10-second.
Yeah.
You say another
Despite
mistake
that
from
10-second
Andrea,
penalty, he's doing pretty good.
There you go. Yeah, if that mistake from Andrea is going to cost him, I mean, we're going to see it continue.
There you go.
10 seconds.
And there it is.
I think Andrea's just trying to get to the end. I think George and Josh are going to be pounding in on him here in these last 2 laps if it's that bad for Andrea. But you got to wonder, is it bad for George too? Maybe. Because George is not gaining as much as I thought he would with Andrea's mess-ups.
Well, George is on 11 lap old mediums compared to Andrea's 14 laps hards. And Josh has the most on these hards with 17 on him.
I know. Go
ahead. I was just gonna say, to your point, Polish, Cookie's never won for McLaren, and we're not gonna get that rain that we thought we would have got in the last lap or two. By the way, Jack, Skither, and TB, the only drivers in F1 to win with 4 teams. Cookie's gonna put himself a part of an elite club right now, if he holds on for just a few more miles.
I was gonna say Skither could possibly get Josh, but because he's gained so much over the last couple laps, but I think he might just run out of time.
This goes to show, similar to last game, if you're in one of the midfield or worse cars, you're not going to be able to manage tire wear as well as you want to. And there you go.
Willow, this is not good. Willow has 35% battery on him. Alex Norris has a full battery available.
Well, while Cookie's going to take the checkered flag, we're going to see some moves maybe be made in that back straight. Alex is using battery a little bit now, but you don't want to use it yet. And that's a spin for Fusion.
Fusion.
Another day to forget for another driver.
Yes.
And that 10-second gap between Simbo and Andrea, it's clearly shown on our screen. 3/10 the difference Andrea needs to make up to maybe get P7. Not going to happen. Unless there's a track limit pen that comes his way. But yeah, what a drive from Cookie. You know, we saw what Florian did.
I know Cookie's going to cross.
I know.
But I'm staying focused on that battle for second.
I'll get back to it in just a second. But I just want to say, Cookie, with this drive, you know, you got to wonder, if there's a change made with Cryptic, if there's a change made with Cryptic, this is the guy they're going to go with to have challenge Florian. And who's ever in that McLaren...
Jump it, Willow!
Whoever's in that McLaren, they're going to do the job Cookie's doing. What an amazing job today. Here we go.
This is it. This is a fight for the second place spot. This is going to be it here, heading into that hairpin. Who's going to have the better run? Alex on the outside. Can he get in there? Side by side. Almost a touch. But they're okay.
They do
contact. Contact there. And Cookie comes across to win in
Alex
China. Just caught at the end there. And here comes Alex Norris. Holds on and gets second place from Willow. Let's move back to the sixth here. Cryptic comes across in fourth. Jack will be 5. Gecko holds off Simba for 6. And Simba will have the 10-second add in, but he will keep that 7th place.
And
Andrea will come in the 8th place spot. Here comes George and Josh.
Skidder was so close.
Skidder almost lost it.
Skidder was so
Skidder,
close.
I think he would need another lap.
One more lap, and I
got
honestly think he would have gotten both Red Bulls.
Congrats to Alex on his first career Tier 1 podium, as there's a Sauber of heroes spinning across the line. And Willow with a second. Willow with a second. I mean, how about that? Good stories right there.
JTK coming across the line. A day to forget for JTK. Started off so well, getting into T3.
Redfire is 6/10 off fastest lap, so even if he wanted to get that fastest lap for bragging rights, he needed 6 more tenths. Alex's first Tier 1 podium. Willow is second. And for Cookie, this is number 32 and win 22. So think about it. 2/3 of the time he's been on the podium, he's won. Let him cook. Cookie is Cookie again.
You know what? Crazy
this
to
time
think.
He's baking it.
And you know what? Crazy to think. The best performing Red Bull Academy car wasn't even a Red Bull. It wasn't even a V-Carb. It was an Aston Martin with a 10-second penalty.
I didn't know phones were allowed on the podium, but they are for Cookie.
Mm.
Take a selfie while you're at it. Share this moment on the Insta. Maybe the X marks the spot. I mean, he really did mark the spot today. I'll tell you that. I mean, dominant drive.
Oh man, I'm on black screen, unfortunately. Oh, there we go.
Race winner Cookie. There's some of our things. Fastest lap Cookie. Game gave a blonde driver of the day. Minico most overtakes. JTK the cleanest driver.
No.
JTK looks like Ryan Blaney right there. A little bit.
Champagne being sprayed. Cookie on top. Alex second. And Willow finishing the 3rd spot. But yeah, Alex Norris 2nd place for him. Solid stuff on his part. But
how does the game give drive of the day to Blonde when Josh gained more spots than him? Same with Gecko.
Blonde said the JTK cleanest driver. The game is high.
Only one we lost from the straights, and it was an intentional DNF, and probably a driver who ain't gonna see the grid for a while if that gets reported, and I'm sure it will be. I would probably give driver of the day to Cookie. I have to give shout-outs to Andrea and Josh too. Or not Josh, Josh too, I guess. But Simbo and Gecko with their recoveries and, you know, where the car should be compared to where the car finished. But what a dominant race from Cookie. Welcome back.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm saying my driver of the day contenders. It's the same 3. Cookie, Simba, and Andrea. But it's mainly a battle between the two of Simba and Cookie, really, because Simba managed to build that gap of 10 seconds to keep that 7th place spot, and then Cookie had that lag out, had a really botched strategy, and he still managed to pull out the win. That's just some solid stuff. So it could be either one for those two.
I'm gonna go with Gecko because I like being different. And he did go from 15th to a respectable P6, so can't go wrong with that. There you go.
Well, that will wrap up the stream for this week, and that wraps up week 2 for the RPL events of racing. But here's what we got for week number 3. So round 3 we have Monza for tier 3. on Friday, 4th of July, for us in the United States. It's also Monza for Tier 2. But Tier 1 next week will be racing around at Suzuka in Japan. And, Polish Hammer did disconnect, so unfortunately he is not here, so it's just me. So, yeah, so from RPL Streams, big help from Polish and Cyril from being part and helping out. Ty and I will sign off. Good night. Have a great one, people.